Good morning. I gave myself almost no time to get ready, not because I woke up late, but because I've been talking to Sydney and thinking and doing a bunch of that, and now it's time to go, and I have like 15 minutes to get out the door, and I haven't even gotten out of bed. So I'm going to church. We are doing good, and I think we might go with that big house. We're gonna put in an application for the big house. I'm scared. Okay, thank you. Okay, I got ready pretty quickly. So I have time to eat, but I wanted to first show you the reality of having no dryer in Japan. It was raining last night, so there's my skivvies. There's some more shirts. Another shirt. A pant. More shirts. So my entire apartment is just teeming with clothing. Look, you can see like almost all of it. For breakfast today, we have this again, since it was so good, and more protein drink. I'll probably have 2 of these cups. Yep, that's what I bought. I'm really good at taking care of myself. And then I bought a fish sandwich, which in any other country I would never buy a fish sandwich, but I'm in Japan, so I bought a fish sandwich for lunch. It's a beautiful morning this morning. Good morning. And now I'm dressed and fed. I think you already saw the dressedness, but I'm fed. Yeah, so it takes about maybe 45 minutes or so, or 40 minutes by train to get to Choich. So excited to finally get to go. High on the mountain top, a banner is unfurled, your nation never up. High on the mountain, high on the mountain top, a banner is unfurled, your nation's up. It's up a hill, and look up and waves to all the world. In desert, sweet peaceful land, from Zion's land, now behold it stand. But this is my building. I'm gonna go in this one, that one, next to the temple. They have the little tent set up to put on your booties for the open house that I went to and didn't film. Here's the placard. And here's kind of the place to enter. And on the mountaintop. Okay, I was done with sacrament meeting, and now I'm just walking around the building, and it was really good. I got to meet a few people that were all very generous with their offering things. I guess I'll talk in the kitchen. There's one family that's moving back to the United States. They're moving to Connecticut. They've been here for like 17 years or something like that. And they live in Meguro, and she wants me to come by tomorrow because she wants to give us a lot of things. And then another guy, he actually was in the MTC with me, the Missionary Training Center, and looking good. And he has a minivan, and his wife and kids are in the United States till the end of July, I think. And so he's like, hey man, if you need me to drive you around or pick things up, I'll do that. Just let me know. And then finally I talked to another guy who they moved here 17 years ago too. Everybody's like in the teens, and his kids were about our kids' ages. They had 4 when they moved here, and he was just telling me about the education and what they've had to do to make it work. And he's talked about how it's been challenging, but they've made it work. And in fact, their kids just go, or at least they've done different things for all their kids, whatever's worked for them. But one of their kids would just go to like PE, art, and like something else at school, at the Japanese school, and then at home they would do a curriculum online, and they would share that information with their teacher, and that was totally fine. But they just have to work, you have to just work it out with the school. So anyway, a lot of possibilities, but really cool. I'll go show you the temple. Okay. Temple time. I guess I can do this, I don't know. Just looking around. Cool little water feature. And has a place you can walk around, I guess. Not down there. Around here. And then that's where the church building is and church offices. And there's supposedly a garden on, or a couple of gardens on top of the church building, but like I said, a lot of stuff is closed off right now. So I'll have to see that in the future. It was cool while at church. A lady who is moving offered to give us a bunch of stuff, and I teared up while she was talking because I guess it's something that I was hoping would happen, but you know, I didn't go with expectations that it would. But of course the Lord provided, and I think they're going to have a lot of things that we will find useful. She mentioned bunk bed and mattresses and bikes and a scooter, and she just kind of kept talking and kept listing things. So I'm gonna go see their place tomorrow. They're also keeping their house. They're moving back to the United States. They're also keeping their house, but they're so they're gonna rent it out. Now they live in Meguro, and so I honestly, at first when she mentioned that, I didn't even mention considering renting their place. But I thought I should at least ask, and so after the sacrament meeting, I asked, you know, would it be possible if we could rent? And I told her our budget, and she like moved on. She didn't even. Meguro is a very expensive place to live, so she didn't even like respond. These things are humongous. These I think were here before the renovation, but so they kept these and they added a bunch of water features and a bunch of other things. So this is new. There's no koi fish. That'd be cool if there's koi. Yeah, it's really pretty. So anywho, she offered a bunch of things, and then I talked to her husband afterwards. He's like, oh, are you looking to rent? I was like, yeah, our budget is, and I even stretched the budget higher than what I'm actually considering, thinking, you know, if it's right, maybe it'll work out. And he just laughed. He just moved on, laughed. So I mean, and we're talking like, this isn't a small budget by most standards, but it is small for where they're living. But at least, you know, we'll hopefully bum off a bunch of stuff. No, they're going to be really kind, and hopefully some of that stuff will work for us. You know, the stipulation is always we're going to have to be able to transport it, but that shouldn't. I mean, hopefully that isn't a great cost. I'm on this like really small path. Check her out. Just right there. 3 steps to that box. I think it's a mailbox. Yeah. I'm still walking around the temple, and I found another path to another thing. We're on the street here, on the other side of the church building. Just a little cute path thing. I like the cute little path things. Satan, don't you dare tempt me. I'm having trouble leaving the temple. I just keep hanging around. But I'm at the park across the street, and it's really pretty. It's the Japanese garden. And then found another cool park near the in the park across the street from the temple. Has a lot of cool stuff and a lot of shade. It's really fun. We'll come here for picnics for sure. And then there's a statue of, I'm sure that's George Washington, or it's probably George Washington. All hail George Washington. Just saying the thing we always say in the United States. And then there's like a sand pit that looks like the Y-mount sand pits. So maybe there's snakes in there. And then a big open area for doing RC cars and throwing balls and soccer practice. Yeah, this is a cool park. It's huge. I haven't even scratched the surface probably, but I'll keep looking. All hail. It's grass. It's grass. I have nothing to offer you on grass. And I'm back home for the evening. I didn't film anything this afternoon. I basically came home and worked on the application for the house, and then I went to James's house and ate dinner with them for Father's Day, and had dessert. And we basically talked about the gospel probably at least half the time. They have just a lot of questions. I don't think they're like interested in joining the church or anything, but they're just interested in meeting someone like me, I guess. And I think they have some general interest in like the religion and stuff like that. So I'm always happy to talk about that. It's fun for me. But yeah, and then James took me home in his Tesla, and I'm all the way back now, and it was a good day, pretty good Sunday.